Unbelievable. Dead again. Now
I
whatever.
may suffer, because it may be bad for me if I survive. If I live it, I might be negative, therefore negative for me. Out of empathy for my suffering, I must be killed. What kind of fucking argument is that?
Well, that's not really the argument, Gratex, and you know what the argument is that, you know, we could say you don't have a free right to reproduce, or you have a lot of, you know, we put a lot of other definitions on it. But I've certainly made the argument that if all of you little fucktards with your life-living psychology, if you could guarantee that the next generation would be just as stupid and moronic as you, and all you retards only fed on each other, then, yeah, I wouldn't have much of an argument then, would I? Because then I can only say that, okay, their psychology is just so blind, and they're so myopic, and they're just so thinking they're accomplishing something that maybe that's good enough. So, yeah, I mean, I'd still say it was stupid, but I guess I wouldn't have as strong an argument to say you just don't have a right to play a game with somebody else's psychology. That's the real problem. You don't have a right to put people on the ride who aren't going to like the ride. That's the part that really pisses me off, is that you think you have that right, is to create another one of me. Alright? You think I don't have the right to judge your life. Well, you don't have a right to impose life on me again. Asshole.
No scientific justification for destroying the universe. There's none. It's fucking
Well, it's ridiculous to say that it's a question we cannot analyze, so that's just silly. There's plenty of justification. Like I said, you've offered nothing to explain away the fact that it's crude forces, that life, the basic nature of it, is just completely fucktarded chemistry on a fucking dead-end bullshit mission where it's basically just eating itself. It's eating its own kind now. I mean, it you know, consumed and reproduced, and it consumed and reproduced so much that it finally started eating its own kind. It just started eating itself, living on itself. And that's all it's been doing for billions of years now, is just feeding on itself. It's cannibalizing itself. It's just so silly.
It's absurd. Not just like, oh, it's absurd, but it is absurd.
Says Gratex, right? You really, man, you knocked that one right out of the park. Yeah, bang. Great logical argument. Gratex says it's absurd. He doesn't offer any rational reason why it's absurd. It's just because the universe and the chemistry is better than us. It's smarter than we are, and he just knows that it is somehow. And so there's no way we can judge the dumb, stupid, crude forces that forced a bunch of molecules to combine with each other and created a molecule that combined with each other in such a way that it ended up reproducing itself for no good reason whatsoever. But no, we can't judge any of that. No, 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 no. That's not what an intelligence does. No, intelligence just sticks its head in the sand and pretends. Yeah, right.
Technically, it is absurd. You cannot use science to detect whether children should be killed or not.
Well, it's logic, and yes, you can. You can apply logic. You can, if you have a rational-based premise, you have a premise. I mean, you either have the premise has to be based on some sort of foundation of knowledge. Sorry, bad timing. Yeah, and so once you've established the values, and I think they can be established, yeah, it's not that complicated. You want to optimize, you want to maximize the equation. You want less suffering and more pleasure. Then you're going to have to make judgments about how people should be living, and where they should be living, and how many there should be, and all of that shit.
Okay. Use moral judgments that come from within. They come from agreement with culture, they come from the culture, they come from agreement with other humans. Okay. Humans create morals.
And what do they create them out of, though? I mean, it's just silly. You think I created my morals out of culture? No, I created them out of a rational evaluation through my personal experience. I gained knowledge through my personal experience. I understood how the universe works. I acquired knowledge of chemistry and physics. I applied my knowledge of my own personal experience, and that life is kind of sloppy and messy. And all you need is just all you need is not some myopic. You take as long as you don't have some sort of religious blinders on, some sort of taboo that says you can't look. It's very easy to look and examine it and say, yeah, okay, I get it. It's just reproducing fucking chemistry. All right? And it's extremely expensive. It's very expensive to play this stupid game. And it's a game we've already played over and over again. Like I said, and if we didn't die, we would have been fed up with it a long time ago.
Humans share morals. Humans turn those shared morals into laws. And this guy says that's irrelevant. Wait a minute. This is reality. This is scientific observation of reality. Scientific observation of...
Oh, well, no one's denying it. Yeah, but you observe the human race evolving its intelligence. You observe the fact that it acquires knowledge. The world is round. Women aren't possessions. Black people aren't slaves. We start to figure things out. Animals aren't just for us to eat, and God didn't put them here. They're basically our relatives. They're, only removed a few 100,000 years. Yeah, we figure this shit out. And as I'm saying, as the logical consequence, the thing we're heading for is this realization that this is made out of shit. And it's not my fault that that's the truth. It's just the fucking truth.
And it's irrelevant to somebody who claims to be scientific and logical and basing their conclusions on logical truths.
Well, popular opinion is irrelevant. Yeah, you got to have it logic-based, and so we know that popularity of opinions is irrelevant, and that's what culture is driven by. And we know, again, like I said, what part of humans have been wrong in the past don't you understand? They notoriously have been wrong in their conclusions. So there's every reason to suspect this presumption that life is something more than just a really fucked up syndrome that matter gets caught up in. There's all ways to describe it, but it's an addictive syndrome. It's not, it's not unicorn dust.
Humans create morals. Humans share morals. Humans make codified laws based upon those shared morals. No, that's irrelevant. Reality is irrelevant. The argument is relevant. Argue the argument fucktard. I'm supposed to deal with it. I don't think so.
Yeah, you'll just pontificate and say, no, you can't ask the question. No, you can't analyze the magic super forces that built the universe. The crude forces own us, period, no discussion. Fuck you.
Walkie's time.
Anyway, walkie's time, whatever that means. Anyway, so yeah, you made another video where you made some other example in it. It was just another way he's face palm. But anyway, yeah, this is the root of the thing. I mean, he's very nihilistic in terms of thinking that the universe is worthy of respect, and that its agenda is its agenda. And I don't know, he'll talk 1 minute about how something can matter, but it can only matter subjectively to an individual, and that matteredness only matters because it affects some individual witnessing it. It's not because it's actually happening to a subject. It's just bullshit. If the fucking subject matters, if its welfare matters, if the word welfare means anything to you, well, then it's game on. Then we have a right to judge the system, because now we have a value. There's gasoline in the system being used. There's something of value being used by the machinery of the universe, and it's fair to judge it now that we have a value that's at stake. But if you're going to say the welfare of a sentient being doesn't matter at all, then fuck you. You're an idiot. Yeah. That's enough.